All right, guys, this is a quick little review on the Toro Titan Max. I got this over a month ago. I've got right at 22.6 hours on it currently. I'm cutting just under 5 acres, so I got quite a bit to mow out here and spend some time on this mower itself. Overall, it's been a great mower. I'm very pleased with it for the amount of time that I've had it. I'd give it an 8 out of 10. I'll go over a couple of the little pros and cons real quick with you guys, but the main one that you can see here without anybody reviewing it is it's a 10 out of 10 on looks and being aesthetically pleasing. It's a great looking mower. Everything is pretty much commercial on it with a few exceptions. It's got some real aggressive tires on it. The color scheme is absolutely amazing. It looks beautiful. It's a great looking mower. I went and sat on the Havoc as well before I purchased this one. Didn't really see it being worth the extra money that they were asking just for a couple little cheap LED lights thrown on and a few other things that, just like I said, didn't seem worth it to me at the time, but it was also a good looking mower as well. All right, so we'll go with the cons first. There's very few things that are negatives in my view as far as this mower is concerned itself. It does not have any lights on it. It's got spots over here on the panel for you to add in some switches and wire up some lights. As far as what the Havoc has, I mean, you could spend 20 bucks and get those off Amazon or Walmart and easily wire them up there if you wanted to. I just don't do any mowing at nighttime. The chute itself is pretty residential here. I just keep it up so I can get closer to everything I'm mowing in this yard. It does not have an actual gas gauge on the clusters up here. For some of you commercial guys, that could be a problem. It's not great on gas, but it's not bad. I mean, right in the middle. You've got a gauge right here. This is where I can see, as long as you've got good lighting, it hasn't been a problem for me. The only problem is it is under the seat and it's located in a spot that's really difficult for you to just kind of quick glance down like having one on the cluster would be. Raising, lowering the deck right here, everything's really easy. I like the convenience of adjusting the deck height on this mower. It's pretty consistent with most commercial decks. I've cut really close and tested this as well as I could, and it seems to do real good around corners, especially getting up close to trees and everything. Try to cut down as much as I can on weed eating. So the only other cons itself would be with this mower, in my opinion, is just the cutting itself. As aggressive as these tires are, I see why they put this tread on there. This mower, I don't know if it's just how it's balanced or what, but it does tend to slide. It doesn't get as good a grip as I thought it would on the heels. I'm still able to cut fine with it. I just go way slower, especially if I'm on a pretty steep grade. But do be aware, it will slide on you, especially if you're getting on some ditches or cutting anything pretty steep. As far as the cut quality, it does a really good job in my opinion, especially for the price range. I mean, I'm doing all this in comparison to the really much more expensive price range of the full commercials. It's really hard to tell here, but it stripes up just as good as anything I've cut on myself personally. I've cut on Kubotas, grasshoppers, been on some Husqvarnas, Dixon choppers, just about everything. And if you put a striping kit on something, obviously you'll get a lot more out of them, but it just coming out with factory blades and getting a good cut and showing some decent stripes on it, it does a fine job. It's a good mower on that. I've been very pleased so far. It does leave some stragglers, so be aware. You know, I think it's got a max cutting speed of like 9.5 miles an hour somewhere through the manual, but it will leave stragglers if you try cutting, you know, even half throttle sometimes, depending on the height of the grass. You got some really high grass, and you might want to take it pretty slow, because if you try any decent speeds, it'll leave some sprigs up here and there. I've got a bad problem with having crabgrass, as you can probably see out here, but you get some tall weeds and stuff when you're mowing, and it'll definitely leave a straggler or two. We've got somebody over here that has decided to steal the show. Pork chop. Anyways, those are the only cons that I have with this this mower itself. It's done really well for me. Like I said, I'd give it an 8 out of 10. It is a very good looking mower. This thing's sharp, it's eye-catching. It's comfortable. It looks great while you're cutting on it. It does a great job of cutting. It does not have air ride seats or any type of suspension. So I've got some rough spots in this yard. You can definitely feel them. But just like anything else, that is an upgrade you can do. Amazon's got some air ride seats kits, aftermarket parts that you can get for $300 or $400. Toro themselves sell some. I think they're pretty expensive, but that's definitely an upgrade you can do. But I've been very pleased with the mower overall. It is, for the price range, I just couldn't beat it. Like I said, I got a pretty decent discount. I snagged this one up from Dixie Mowers out in Franklin. Those guys worked with me quite a bit, and we got about $2,000 off between the first responder discount and some other discounts they threw in to help me out on the MSRP for this one. So I got a good deal on it. It's been a great mower, and for the money I saved, it's kind of hard to beat. Of course, a step up and go into their full commercials with, you know, suspension seats and all the gas gauge and everything in your clusters. You'll get a lot of upgrades that for the commercial guys, they're loading up and cutting on this thing for 10, 12, 14 hours a day would really, you know, make use out of. For me, I'm not actually cutting for profit at all. I'm cutting this every 4 or 5 days, and it's getting the job done very well. I'm very pleased with it. I'm pleased with the price point. Overall, like I said, I'll give this an 8 out of 10. Highly recommend, well worth the money. Guys, have a great day.